Hey guys, this morning we are at Tashilambo Palace and we're going to go in and check it out. I'm pretty excited about this. You check out the scenery. It's pretty spectacular. The mountains in the background. What do you think? You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we've driven up to the top behind the temple here. So this is the temple that basically is for the Panchen Lama. So as you know, this interesting little buildings here too. As you know, the Untitled Palace in Tibet, in Lhasa, is for the Dalai Lama, and this was that kind of the place for the Panchen Lama. So you've got all of the kind of graves here for all the previous Panchen Lamas also. Let's walk around a bit.
Convention Buddha.
Convention Buddha.
Oh, okay.
So Dalai is the reincarnation of
Convention
Buddha. But here, Bantam is the reincarnation of
Amitabha.
Amitabha.
Oh, okay.
Buddha.
Okay. So from a religious point of view, the Dalai Lama and the Panchen Lama are the same levels.
然后我在这个地方呢，今天我们参观的这个扎什伦木寺，这寺院的基本历史
During
明朝
Ming Dynasty, this temple was built in 1447 during Ming Dynasty. Actually, when first generation of Dalai built this temple, this monastery, it was a very small one. But it was until the fourth generation of Bantam who came here and really expanded this building into this size. And since the fourth generation Bantam, all the Bantams start to live here. There was over 60 temples inside this monastery. 然后60座佛殿。
其中5个大殿。
There were 5 the major and very big temples.
可以敲一下表示报道。
Oh, it's
你来了。
check in.
来，请这边左边上，右边下。
好嘞。Oh, we have to climb, go up from the left, and get down from the right.
Oh, okay.
那我们拿着摄像机进去可以吗 Okay, so normally it's forbidden to take photos or videos, but today they make an exception for us.
Are they sure? Are they sure?
确定可以是吧？
可以。
好的。
你说的已经可以了。
好的，谢谢，太感谢。
这个重得很，感受一下。
哦，really？
我在这个地方呢，第一座这个主殿弥勒佛殿，给你们简单的介绍一下啊。第一个大殿弥勒佛殿啊，这里面供奉的这尊佛像是当今世界上最大最高，它是铜制镀金包裹的弥勒佛像，藏语就可以强巴。因为 Maitreya
30 meters.
30 meters from this lotus bottom to the top of the head is about 30 meters high.
Wow.
And it's covered by bronze and metal and gold.
然后
是应该用金和铜制的吧？
铜制镀金的。
哦，镀金。It mainly made by bronze, but
Okay.
covered by.
铜，你是铜？
对，铜制。
Copper, no?
Copper, yes.
Copper,
Yeah, copper, yes.
弥勒佛1000尊壁画，1000 future Buddha.
Oh.
Maitreya Buddha.
Maitreya Buddha, 1000 Maitreya Buddha on this wall.
On this wall.
1000尊弥勒佛。
1,000 of them drawn here.
不是同一种。
同一种，不是同一种。
不是的。哦，明白了。好的。
这是莲花宝座。
Oh, this is the lotus bottom that the Buddha sitting on.
对，这样嘛，它这个上面的镀金摸掉了嘛，藏民信教全部都喜欢摸嘛。像这个的话，上面是镀金嘛。所以这边的镀金全部摸掉了。这是铜。
Yeah, the gold already being touched away.
把帽子摘下来，然后这个帽子摸过去，还有佛珠的话，佛珠也这么摸过去。
对，所以就是藏民们其实是很讲究那个，就是
对
进到佛殿或者寺庙一定要摸，是吧？去双手去触摸。
带一点佛气啊，
对。That's why the locals Tibetans, when they went to temples, monasteries, they love to touch
Yeah.
to get some lucks or blessings from the Buddha.
Right.
这个大殿是1914年开始建，1918年竣工。
这个大殿。
对对，弥勒佛殿。
Oh, this hall, this
1918.
temple. 1918 was built in 1918 and finished building construction in 1968.
1914 building this
Oh,
temple.
1914. Oh.
Finish is 1918.
Okay.
The three pictures. The left side is number 90 Panchen Lama.
Number which
Number
one?
90 Panchen Lama. Panchen Lama. He's building this.
Oh, he's the one who built it.
This building.
Okay.
The middle is number 10 Panchen Lama.
Number 10.
Number 10 Panchen Lama. Panchen Shigatse. Number 10 Panchen Lama. The right side is number 11 Panchen Lama.
Number 11 on the right side.
就是现在哦，
现在
哦，现在的 OK。
现在扎斯的每座殿里面只有他们3位的照片，因为90之前的历代班人的时间久了，当时没相机嘛，所以就没留相片，只有留的是画的唐卡、塑像之类的。照片都是现在90开始他们3位。
Oh, so they can only draw the depiction this accurately for these past 3 Panchen Lamas. The previous ones, they just have drawings on tankas with the colorful paintings.
There were no technology of cameras or
Yeah.
taking photos, so yeah.
So these are the most accurate depictions of
Yeah,
those.
they are the 这个是照片对吧？ They are
这
the
是照片里
photos.
面这3个都是照片。
Yeah, they are the
Oh,
photos.
they're not even painting. They're
Not
actually.
painting
Oh, okay.
photos. 好的。
So the real photos of the last 3 Panchen Lamas, including the current one. Wow, this is really steep. Look at that.
佛像的面对它一共是分了5层，我们刚刚摆的那个叫基础莲花宝座殿嘛，然后再上来我们就现在这个的话就是佛的腰部殿，再我们上去呢胸部殿，再上去佛的脸部殿，最上面是佛的冠部殿，一共就佛的面对是分了5层。原来呢，每部层都可以上去，那现在人多，而且这些藏式梯子也比较陡，所以呢，就是平时经常拜只能那个基础那个殿，不让上。今天我们是特殊的，所以就这些每部层都
So how many levels total? Five
应该
levels.
是5个级别对吧？莲花宝座、腰部殿、胸部殿、
在脸部、
脸部、
还有冠部。
还有冠部。
Reaching the different levels of the body.
Yeah.
Which level are we on now?
现在我们是在腰部吧？对，我们现在是在腰部。
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
And
waist.
that's the waist area.
Yeah.
这个地方我们能看得清楚弥勒佛的手势动作。手势动作它这个样子哎，右手搭在掌心，这个地方的法轮，法轮啊，
这个地方是
法轮啊，法轮。
好嘞。
然后左手，
Let's move to the
左手
side.
上面它这个是个水瓶，水瓶，这个一个动作，讲经说法的一个动作。然后这边是托了一个水瓶，一个大瓶子
明白
水瓶。
Oh,
哦，就这两
bottle
个
and the
Yeah.
water bottle.
两个法器。
Inside this is like the 应该怎么叫法轮呢 ？Will， 但是应该在佛教的这个语言中，应该叫什么？
它一个求转经的一个法器嘛，它是一个转法轮的一个。法轮应该叫什么我也不清楚。
对，this is a will in Buddhism. This is a will, and this is like a vase.
水瓶，
Yeah.
我给它瓦斯。
A vase, and with the hand like this.
Right.
平时的话，藏传信教群众有些人嘛，那个自己供养贴金，就是弥勒佛的脸上、手上刷金粉的啊。
Even just paint the gold powder
face.
on the face will cost like 20,000? No, 200,000 RMB.
20万。
20万。
我们就再上去吧，我们再上去。
那我们来再上去。
还得请这边啊，上楼梯慢慢上来啊。
These guys can do this so fast. Good.
How do you feel, the cameraman? You had to climb while holding the camera.
这里是它的胸部殿啊，胸部殿。胸部
Chest
殿到这里，我们主要就是对它祈求祈祷的话，也就是最佳的一个位置啊。
最佳的
我们就心对心嘛啊，
啊
这么一个意思啊，就祈求祈祷的话最佳的一个位置。
This is best spot to pray
Yeah.
because it's the heart to heart.
Right. Okay.
Pray here.
Yeah, pray for energy.
祈祷的一个殿堂，最主要的一个祈祷怎么说嘛，最灵的一个地方。
对。
先在这儿，然后慢慢上来啊。
These are really steep stairs. I don't know if you guys can see it, how steep it is in the camera. Okay. Whew.
There are Panchens, the building this temples times 1918.
1918. Do this painting.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
这些壁画都全都是当时的啊，18年。
这个每年要修吗? Every year has to repaint or no need?
后面没有维修过。
没有。
Wow, this is the original.
Wow.
From
100多年的历史。
100多年没有维修过，怎么可以保持这么
没有
久？
因为这最上面的话平时人少嘛啊，而且这边的话供烟供那个水灯啊都稍微比较少的，所以这里面
Because not many people come up here. This has been preserved for 100 years without having to be refinished. That is amazing. So what you're looking at is the original painting that somebody did 100 years ago. Their hands went into this work here, and it's never had to be retouched up. The original. Amazing. That's really looking at history right here. Wow. Here we are.
这个是帘幕殿。这个帘幕殿我们就直接看这个面相啊，往梁宽4米，就我刚刚说的。对，到现在的话才知道它这个是非常非常大。从底下30米那个底下我们看的话，就是刚才没这么看得清楚嘛。
这个真的是真真实实看清楚了佛祖的这个脸。
啊，对。
脸的宽度大概是4米 ，the width of the face
Yeah.
4 meters。
它的鼻孔里面可容纳7、8岁小孩是能钻得进去。
啊，真的。The nose.
Yep.
The nose, like a kid who is like 6 or 7 years old can climb into the nose, can fit a 6 years or
Really?
7-year-old. Yeah.
That's how big it is.
它的皇冠这个帽子上面有马朗根等等什么的那些宝石嘛，就是7000多个宝石，但最珍贵的是眉心上，中间这是32颗金刚钻石。
金刚钻石。
对，它这个眉心上最珍贵的。
是吧？ Like the crown was decorated with all kinds of jewels, all kinds of stones, precious stones. But the most precious one is the one in the middle of the head.
Right, in the forehead.
Yeah, that's the crystal.
Oh.
金刚钻石，应该 diamond actually. Diamond.
Inside there.
Yeah, the one like is diamond.
Okay.
Most
它的
precious
这个
one.
袈裟啊，袈裟也全是用绸缎做的，它这个也是以后这个换过好几次了，好几次。
这个衣服是吧？
对
换过好多次了。
对，全都是这个绸缎做的啊。
绸缎。
对，绸缎做的，这个需要的话3000多米长这个
3000多米长的绸缎
才能做一大大的这个袈裟啊。
3000多米长。Yeah, the cloth. Is made with silk, and I think it has cost 3,000 meters long silk to make this clothes, the clock for this.
Oh, for the clothes that are on the
Yeah.
the statue.
袈裟英文应该怎么说
Robes.
Robes. 就叫
Robes.
robes.
Yeah, ROBES, robes.
这个大殿的话，文革的时候就属于稍微保存比较完整的。它的这个脸上，从这里一些人把这些东西砸过它的脸上，砸过，好多地方都是它自然恢复的。现在就是我们就看不到那个痕迹嘛，看到好多都是它自然这个恢复。
自然恢复，
对，自然
恢复。
还有这么一个神奇的故事
真的，
没法解释。
不是说人工修复
不是人工修
吗？
复的，对，因为它这个太大，当时没有什么机械设备嘛，所以就是还好保存比较完整的，没砸过太大的这个大殿，也没损坏太大，佛像也保存下来，只是这个上面一些东西砸在它的脸上，
会砸在脸上，会有一点小损伤，是吧？So I think this temple was damaged the least during Cultural Revolution, because some temples were damaged during Cultural Revolution,
Right.
but this saw least damage. But I think the face of this Buddha was actually damaged by some stones, because people throw stones.
Throwing stones at it.
Yeah, so there were some damages, but the damages were just healed naturally. Just healed naturally through years of
Wow.
existence. No one actually like repaired those damages, those bad stones.
Right.
Just gradually, magically heal. That's the power of Buddha.
地方是后面修复过，本来这个基本上都是原新的啊，只是有一些裂缝的，还有一些稍微有脱落的，就是后面是维修过一点点的这一区域。
啊，这是 murals. But these murals were repaired.
These ones inside, yep. He said all the ones on the outside wall weren't repaired. The ones on the outside. But these ones, maybe they put like a lacquer on it or a protection coat on top, like something to protect it.
请问这个是什么呢？
经书。
这是经书哈。哦，经书。How do you say? Scripture.
Scriptures. Oh, okay.
学到了很多新的宗教用语。
我们就刚才拜的那是最下面的。
Just there.
There, over there.
Yeah, you can imagine. You can look at this cloth, the fabric, how big it is. It's quite a big piece of material.
它是属于是在室内啊，就是佛堂里面的啊，就是世界最大最高的啊。在室外的话，比这个大的也可能有的。就在室内的话，就属于最大最高，而且全是铜制镀金保护的。
This is the world largest Buddha indoor
Buddha.
Okay. And actually like covered by copper and gold.
Right. 万步殿指的就是这个地方，现在平时就不让上，现在我们也不能去的啊，因为这个楼梯就是非常危险的，所以万步殿指的是就这个的。 So we can't go to the top level because it's a bit dangerous.
师傅，这个花我能稍微看一下吗？你可以，对，可以。
这个店平时是不对外开放的，
只能我们就在那个最基础的那个底下那边。
哦。So, like for most people, they can only pray at the bottom, like a lotus bottom part. Only when some higher levels, like lamas or Banchen masters, when they come to this monastery, they will ask to pray like on here, on this chest area, or stomach.
So the one level down, on the chest level.
Chest level.
Yeah. Okay.
是那其他的像大师们来的话，一般是在胸口还是在这个？
一般都是在这个底下转一圈，一般都是在底下。
就是大师们来呢？
大师们来的话，就是在这里摆
这个位置，面部是吧？
Yeah.
Face level.
Face level masters 们。
因为有诵经啊，有什么这么一些给他们供养一些什么供一些给师傅的时候，都在这里做嘛啊，或者垫子，因为那底下那空间也没那么大嘛。活动的话，基本上这个地方举行的。那祈祷的话，祈求。给他那个许愿的话，就是在那个胸部点的。
如果是 if they want to pray, they will go to the chest area, heart to heart.
Right. Going down is going to be a challenge also.
Wow.
These guys are pros.
Are you afraid of height?
No, not really. Well, I mean, edges, like when we were at the Panchen Palace. I'm afraid of edges.
Yeah. What about this? It's almost like edges.
The problem is my feet are really big, so it's going to make this difficult. I should be.
Should be, but you don't.
Oh, this will be fine.
Let me go down for a second. I can hold the GoPro.
That's okay. I got it. As long as I walk down sideways like this, it's okay.
他说要上去上。
Okay.
他们体力好好，爬得很轻松。你 OK 吗？
Hi, Jing Jing.
Hi, are you okay?
You need help?
Don't fall.
慢点下来啊。
Shaking, shaking.
If you fall, I can't catch you.
Okay, it's easier than I thought it would be.
"这个阿嘎图你知道吧？给他们拉萨那边讲解了没？没有吗？
没有。
啊，这个阿嘎图是西藏这边独有的，它是非常有这个西藏的民族特点性啊。它这个地面是呢，这个图啊，这个图叫我们藏语叫阿嘎，西藏这些本地的山里挖出来，然后先把那个土，反正是比较硬的一个土嘛啊，先是要打碎，然后这边地面铺好了。他这个劳动的时候是非常有这个民族的特别性啊，他这个是好多人站在一起呢，夯出来，他是边唱歌啊，
边唱歌一边
唱
把这个地敲出来。
对，地敲出来，他们敲了，他大概十几天以后才形成很结实这个地面。
Did you get it?
Most of it, but yeah, you go ahead. Say.
Yeah. So, this floor is actually made in very Tibetan way because the what do you say? The mud, or the
local
this earth,
yeah.
the local earth. What is it called in Tibet?
Okay.
Aka. This local earth called Aka in Tibetan language. They have to dug them out from mountains, and when they brought this local earth here, it's like they use dozens of local Tibetans, and they do the same, like they stick to the earth together,
With
like kind of like the show you
smash
watch.
it with a rock.
Yeah, kind of like the show that you showed me yesterday, with all the locals performing with a stick doing this at the same time.
Yeah.
So they were like hitting the earth with some rocks together on with the same rhythm and singing actually. Singing at the same time, singing Tibetan songs and like doing this together.
Yeah.
And after 10 days, the earth will get really hard, really hard, really strong. And then they polish this ground with butter, suyo, Tibetan butter, suyo. So after polishing it, it will be like shining and very hard.
在西藏这边。
It is very smooth.
在寺院里面，可能古建筑里面
You get little kind of bumps here, but most of it is actually very remarkably
这个
smooth.
东西干起来的话，就是比较复杂嘛，所以现在好多地方的话，就是只有古建筑这些寺庙啊、庄园啊这些里面才能看得到这个东西。就平时的我们老百姓的家里，还有或者这市区的话，基本是看不到这个地面。
So like those kind of ground you can only see in ancient architectures, like monasteries or some palace of the old nobles. Because it's just really complicated, really hard work to do.
Yeah,
in modern architectures, you won't see it anymore.
Interesting.
Oh.
It's a piece of history here then, even the floor.
拉萨那边你们转过了吧？
对，转过了。
故宫里面也都是这个地面的阿嘎。
没注意。
阿嘎
啊，怎么区别？就是这样子，这个路面。你想想那个画面。 Imagine that, like they are performing the show every day.
That would be quite an interesting sight to see.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing to see.
慢慢下来啊。
好嘞。Very steep.
因为你在专业上工作。
对，是的。
别蛮高的。
没有。
这是属于哪个频道？
我们是英语频道。
英语。
对。所以你看我平时做片子的语言都是英语。
对对对。
Thank you.
我们在这边等吧。
好。
这是绿松石做的那个万字符号。
哦，绿松石。What do you call this stone? The green stone grown.
Do you mean the symbol?
No, I mean the stone. The stone
Oh,
like a
jade?
green-
Is it jade?
It's not jade.
No, jade would be something. That kind of looks.
Yeah, 绿松石. They made that into medicine yesterday when we went to the Tibetan hospital. 绿松石.
Oh, 对，就这个。
Oh, the color. So it's a gemstone, which is a turquoise color.
Yeah.
Okay, just gemstone, yeah.
Just gemstone.
It's really nice though, especially that one. Look at that one.
终于下来了. After 10 years, she finally came up.
Okay, so according to the rules here, you always travel the stairs on the left. So when you're coming up on the left. When you're going down, you're also going down on the left. So that's what we'll do now.
对，那西藏里啊，包括了解这些这个知识啊。他来之前也来过西藏。
来过西藏。
对对对，来过。
做了那个冈仁波齐，做了一圈的。
对。
一天爬完。有没有走过？
我去过。
你爬要多久？
一天。
也可以一天哦。
凌晨3点开始转，我是。
凌晨3点开始。
对，那我也是，但是。
下午6点半、7点样子就转完。
哦，我的比较长，我花了17个半小时。我4月份去了，所以还有雪。
哦，对，肯定。
所以有一点难。
I don't know whether you had a feeling. I don't like just pure like my existence here, standing here. It's just so good. This amazing feel. So quiet, so chill. Everything's so peaceful.
That's one of the essence of Buddhism is living in the moment and in the present.
So there are so many small temples. 哎，你好，小你好。
Student?
是学生吗？是你的学生吗？还是？
不是，师兄嘛算。
师兄。
对。
是您的师兄。
对对对。
His 师兄。
师兄 You know what 师兄 means? When you have the same teachers, the one who has the senior one, we call 师兄.
Oh, okay.
And he said there are so many small temples in this monastery. So if it probably cost us like 3.5 hours to visit all small temples. So we can't finish like this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But all the small temples will be open to the public in the morning. But in the afternoon, it's only like major 5 halls. And we're only gonna visit the major 5 halls, including the ones that we just visited. Okay. So all the monks will study scriptures. One time in the morning and one at night. So they will start morning class from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and evening class is from 6点到8点，对吗？ 6 to 8 o'clock. So that's like all the monks study the scriptures together. But right now this guy, because he's in charge of this this temple, like cleaning, organizing. So like he's trying to recite all the scriptures by himself during his time that he's not working.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very devoted.
5点就起来诵经，好早。对。
它的这个灵堂和整个大殿都是班禅大师圆寂后，中央政府投资修建，现在属于扎寺里面是最新的一个灵塔建筑。
So this is the tomb of the 10th Bantam Lama. So after the 10th Bantam Lama passed away, the Chinese government give all the money for this monastery to build this new temple. So actually this is the newest and largest tomb or temple. 我应该叫它什么？应该叫做 tomb 还是 temple 吧？ This is the newest, largest temple
for
in this monastery.
这大殿建于是1990年开始修建，93年竣工，修了3年。
Oh, 1990 started and finished in 1993. Do you know how much the investment was? How much the cost was?
您知道这个投入多少钱修建这个殿吗？
政府投资是6000多万人民币。
6000多万人民币。
Wow, 60 million.
Yeah, 60 million
renminbi.
to build this tomb, this temple for the 10th Panchen Lama who passed away.
Amazing.
当时的大殿修中的3年时间里，当时他的法体就是那个真身法体，就留在扎寺里面的一座小经堂里面留了3年。
啊，你说那个？
这个在修中的时候，他的那个真身法体
在这个
就扎寺里面的另一个小殿里面，就留了3年嘛。
哦，是在这个建这个之前是吧？
建这个修中的时候。
So before they built this temple, the 法体应该怎么说呢？不应该直接说 corpse. So the tomb which has the actual body like corpse of the Bantam 10th Bantam was actually exhibited in another small tower before they built this big grand temple.
在那个3年时间里，大师圆寂过后嘛，但他的头发、指甲还是在继续长出来。
哦，真的。
真的，那个时候我们的信徒人、旅游客人都能见到他的法体。93年这个大殿修好了，再隆重做成开光典礼。这就是第2座主殿。这5个大殿呢，分别是第1个弥勒佛殿，第2是班禅大师灵塔，然后第3个是40班禅大师灵塔。第4个大殿是5到90班禅大师的合葬塔，最后一个是错心大殿，就是我们念经的那个
5个大殿，这个是
第二个
大殿。This is second major temple, which is 这是第10世班禅大师的灵塔。Yeah, so we were talking about the tomb, the temple for the 10th Bantam Lama.
The Panchen Lama, Chinese
Stupa. Tomb stupa.
Oh, tomb stupa.
我在拉萨英语只学了2个月呗，从 ABCD 开始，时间太难了。
不错，
再没有什么，
已经不错了。
挺好的了。
Okay, so we couldn't film inside the temple for the tomb of the 10th Panchen Lama, but we took a little tour inside without the cameras. It was pretty nice. Now we're just walking around outside.
Panchen Lama's tomb stupa. This is the only temple wasn't damaged during the Cultural Revolution. Yeah, because I think they used to be like the storage for food.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't damaged. But the other Panchen Lamas, like from the 5th to 9th, the real corpse were like damaged somehow.
Oh, really? Okay.
So after Cultural Revolution, now their bodies were being buried together, which is in another hall we will go to visit later. But it's not the full 真身法体 is like the corpse.
Yeah, it's not the whole body.
Yeah, it's just some part of their body was still left. So they buried them all together, built another hall for all of them from the 5th to the 9th.
Right. More stairs.
Very old temple. 这里就是第40班禅大师班城洛桑区间，洛桑区间。 它的灵塔殿啊。这里呢，我们刚刚说了啊，现在属于扎斯里面是最古老的一座灵塔殿啊。文革时候唯一保存下来的一个灵塔殿，66年竣工。
1662年。Okay, this is one of the oldest temple in this monastery. It was built in 1662. Finished construction on 1666.
到目前是300多年的历史。
300 years
So,
history.
yeah, wow.
四世班禅大师，他这位活佛是也是在历代班禅大师里面，他活的寿命是最长寿，要活了93岁。
哦，很长寿哎。
对对对。
The longest living Panchen Lama who passed away at 93.
Oh, that's the fourth.
The fourth who lived the longest.
他当过了第40达赖喇嘛和50达赖喇嘛的经师，就当过他们2位达赖喇嘛的老师。
Oh,
啊，当
2位达赖喇嘛的老师。
哦，
对，40
达赖喇
达赖喇嘛
嘛的
对对对，40达赖喇嘛和50达赖
so
喇嘛。
he
he
taught
was the teacher.
of 2 Dalai Lamas.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the fourth and fifth Dalai Lama. 是第40和第50的达赖喇嘛。
还有一个我们就历代班禅大师的这个班禅者称号，还有那个他们的转世领土这个制度，都我们从40班禅这位活佛才开始的，1、2、3世后来追认上去的。转世这些制度，这个班禅称号都从40班禅才开始。
The Bantam, the title Bantam was officially given from him, and also from him started this reincarnation system.
Right.
But the other three Panchen Lama who was like given the name to them after they passed away. So he's the first one who actually got the title when he was alive.
Okay, okay.
40班禅开始都在干什么？
Oh, so the first three Panchen Lamas' body wasn't here. Were not here. One in Lhasa, in one of the temple, and the other two were in like small temples in also Shigatse.
Okay.
就扎什隆布寺这个寺院呢，从40班禅大师，他是公元1601年担任这寺院的，
公元601年。
1601年清朝时候，担任这个寺院的第16任住持。
So like the fourth Panchen Lama became the master of this monastery in 1601, and from that year, from him, this monastery officially became the place for Panchen Lamas.
Okay.
所以我们刚刚说了，本来修建的人是一直达赖喇嘛修建的。
So yeah, although it was firstly built by the first generation of Dalai Lama, but from him, this officially became the area for Bantam since the fourth generation of Bantam.
Right.
在历代班禅大师里面，40班禅大师跟10世班禅大师他们2位的贡献是属于就是比较突出的啊。
So I told you like there were 4 different sections of Tibetan Buddhism, but like the fourth Panchen Lama and the 10th made the biggest contribution to like Tibetan Buddhism to Tibet. And the rhythm like for the fourth Panchen Lama, like all 4 sections all see him as their master. No matter, even though they belong to different sections, they all treated him as their like biggest master because he made a lot of contributions, like to unite all the 4 sections of Tibetan Buddhism, and he like introduced so many studies and educations, like teaching the medical knowledge, different kind of knowledges. So provide education for all sections and unite all sections. So 4 sections all regard him as
Fourth.
The fourth.
The fourth, yeah.
那10世呢？10世班禅
10世班禅大师他是这个时间是非常怎么说嘛，就是特别的嘛，就是一个是他的前一段这个时间是在我们就是原西藏地方政务嘛啊，后面这都是属于文革之后，特别是文化大革命时候10几年里面，他还是在活在这个牢里嘛啊。
So the 10th Bantam Lama, who actually is another one who made great contributions to Tibetan Buddhism, to the whole Tibet actually, because 10th Bantam lived through the toughest, most turbulent area of Tibet. So
Time? You mean the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10th Bantam, he was kind of like the connections between China's central government and Tibet. So he helped to bring like medical resources, education, poverty alleviation to all Tibetans, not just in Tibet, also the Tibetans living in Sichuan, Qinghai, all those Tibetans. So the 10th Panchen Lama made a lot of contributions to Tibetan people
Right. Right.
to have a better life.
Yeah.
这里的话，就我们没有40班禅大师的照片，只有11世美的40班的美女相片。
好。We don't have a picture of the fourth Bantam because no camera.
The what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no camera.
这里面的壁画是维修过，但是本来的这些壁画都是1666年这个画的，到目前是300多年的历史。这个建筑是原来西藏最古老的一个建筑风格。
This hall, like all the murals, the hall is oldest. They were all built in 1667.
Right.
So like the paint murals were a little bit dark because in the old times they used the fire, the candles.
Oh,
So
okay.
actually because of the smoke of the fire, the murals a little bit
Yeah, a bit of a
dark.
smoky color to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so from this point forward I actually lost audio. I took my GoPro out of its media mod case and the system didn't change the microphone back to the in-body microphone automatically. So from here I'm just going to add some narration over top of the last parts of this tour and some driving footage of our most recent journey, which was to a home of a noble, and also to show you how, or at least where, the serfs lived. So this format is also going to give me the chance to add in some additional conversations and thoughts that happened after this visit to the temple. In terms of what you're going to see on the screen here before we jump onto the road footage, we keep walking on and past the temple for the combined temple for the remains of the 5th to the 9th Panchen Lamas, because their individual sites had been damaged during the Cultural Revolution, much like the kinds of destruction that occurred all across China during that time. One of the things our guide mentioned to us was that the funds for these temples, a lot of it came from the Chinese government, but there were also private donations and contributions from individuals and local businesses in terms of some of the newer infrastructure you're seeing here. One of the most interesting things for me about this trip was the 10th Panchen Lama and the approach that he took. So he became the Panchen Lama in 1949, and he took a more cooperative approach with the Chinese government. It wasn't a process that was without turmoil by no means, particularly during the Cultural Revolution period. However, his cooperative approach allowed him to bring many benefits and developments to Tibet from the central government. But when considering the damage to religious relics and sacred tombs during the Cultural Revolution, it's probably no wonder why he said that indeed so much development has taken place in Tibet, but the price paid has been greater than the gains. He died in 1989, and I really wonder what he'd say if he could see Tibet now. The gains that have been made in the last 10 years, let alone since 1989, have just blown me away. You know, while driving through the Tibetan countryside, seeing the continual construction of massive schools, speaking to young entrepreneurs, and hearing stories from descendants of second-class serfs who can now finally own land, makes me think that the category of gains would become considerably more heavy and might change his opinion that the costs outweighed the gains. That's my personal opinion or theory, and I could of course be wrong though. I was really curious to ask about the 11th Panchen Lama, but I felt it might be disrespectful to our host to potentially pull him into a politically sensitive conversation that he might not want to be involved in, especially on camera. So what I did instead was speak to a number of local Tibetans who have been traveling with us, who I'm a bit more familiar with, like our drivers. And before I continue, for those of you who don't know, the Dalai Lama selected the 11th Panchen Lama. Thereafter, the child that he chose went missing in China, and a different Panchen Lama was selected from within China. From the perspective of the locals that I spoke with, they think that there was no precedent for the way that the Dalai Lama just randomly selected someone from afar, and they felt that the local selection was more organic. They chose 3 children, one of whom demonstrated that they were the real Panchen Lama, and the other 2 still hold religious importance. And so that selection is the one who now holds the official title within China. However, this idea that the Dalai Lama didn't follow the rules doesn't really have merit. I reached out to some of my overseas Tibetan friends who are a bit more middle ground. They aren't really anti-China. It's not a particular position to have in an overseas Tibetan community, and he gets harassed quite a lot if he doesn't toe the anti-China line like overseas Tibetans are expected to do. But that's a story for another time. However, its importance is to realize perhaps why there seems to be a lack of more balanced views coming from the community, and to highlight the irony of being intimidated and silenced using the same tactics they accuse the Chinese government of using. But let's pull this back into the main point. What my friend said was that you can't look at something like this and say the Dalai Lama broke the rules. This is a kind of he says this is a kind of Western perspective on rules, regulations, and processes. The Dalai Lama has the power to change the rules to begin with. He's like a god in his community, so to speak. However, he says you could, of course, make the argument that the decisions he makes would be very politically motivated, if we're honest enough about it. So why do local Tibetans use this logic? Could it just be their propaganda-guided view? Maybe, but let's think about this another way. The Dalai Lama was on the payroll of the CIA. This is a known fact. The Tibetan exile movement was funded to the tune of $1.7 million US per year, which included $180,000 per year for the Dalai Lama's personal living expenses. From a Chinese government point of view, a Dalai Lama appointed 11th Panchen Lama would essentially be a CIA-sanctioned and funded selection within China. That's a reasonable conclusion to come to, considering the funding. And now that child has gone missing in China. According to overseas activists, he's the youngest political prisoner in the world, and according to the Chinese government, his identity and location is not being disclosed for his own protection. Which is true? I don't know. But if the latter is true, it's obvious why we can't verify it. So let's just think about this from a logical point of view. From a Chinese government perspective, a child has been singled out by a CIA asset to be exploited as a political tool. What would you do? Do you think that they'd give him a new identity and somehow make sure that those CIA-funded organizations are unable to locate him? I'm not going to give you my answer on that, but these are things that you can think about. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm a bit behind on the rest of my Tibet footage, but hopefully I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.